there is only two parties needed in Bangladesh, Awami League and BNP. Doing business in Bangladesh is not easy. It's a war ground. Why should I limit myself to maybe Joint Secretary of Amar Bangladesh Party? Why not the Prime Minister of Bangladesh?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Wahida Hussain, and today with us we have none other than the Joint General Secretary of AB Party, Barrister Nasreen Sultana Millie. Wonderful to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me on the wonderful show.
So we'll get right to it.
Yes.
What is your experience as a member of a startup political party? As in, what does it take to start a party? What are the hurdles experienced in starting a political party?
Well, to start with, what does it take to start a political party? I think it takes few people thinking that, yes, we can go forward. So it doesn't take much, but what it takes for a political party to stay afloat and establish. I think the main problem of a political party starting in Bangladesh is there is only two parties needed in Bangladesh, Awami League and BNP. So coming out of that, because whenever there is a new political party on the street or anywhere, even normal people asking questions, why do we need another one? So we were asked time and time again, so why do we need a 49th party? Because I think there were 48 registered party at that time and many other unregistered. So we answered this, I think, 1,000 times. It's the dynasty politics is not working anymore. We need a new generation politics. I think we were the first party to coin the term new generation politics. This political party started with a platform on 19th May 2019. And then before launching that platform, there were at least research for 8 to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us were West educated. We were studying there at that time, and we were seeing the amenities that the citizens were getting. For example, I was in UK and a lot of my colleagues were in UK. We had NHS, which means the National Health Service. So if you get ill, you get the service first. And the second is, where's the money coming from? The idea of private hospital is very rare in there. I think it's one or two. But however, NHS has the best service. Things like that were knocking into our head that why we are not getting it in Bangladesh.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were talking, the diaspora, we found another group of people who were doing politics in Bangladesh, but were seeing that this is going nowhere. For example, our chairman is from Jamaat Islam. He was talking about progressive politics in there, and he was met with backlash. These two groups of people, when they met, they finally felt that no existing political parties in Bangladesh were ready to propose or serve what we wanted to serve to the country based on policy and rights. So politics should be about what I want to bring as a policy to the country and what rights am I ensuring to my citizens. And politics should not be beyond that what my father did, what my husband did, should not be something that should be discussed in a political arena. It should be what I can offer and what I plan to offer as a politician. If you see Zohran Mamdani, the latest New York mayoral candidate who won the Democratic race,
Mm-hmm.
he's so wonderful. And why has he won? Because of his policies. When he was a councillor, he has forwarded, 22 bills that has brought changes to the lives of the people. And he has new plans. So that's what politics should be, that how I want to improve my area and my constituency, not about what my father or grandfather has bestowed upon you.
Mm-hmm.
So
is that what it takes for people to take you seriously?
I think that and stability. It is very hard to gain that kind of trust, and it is a matter of time. We have been saying the same thing and doing the same thing. We have for the last 5 years, and I think that's what has brought the trust on us. From the first instances, we talked about that we want to have a welfare nation, and these are the way we will do it. And we're not in power, We have proposed, for example, for every budget, we have proposed an alternative budget. I don't think any party till now has done that. So that's it. And I think we're the first party in Bangladesh to have a shadow cabinet. So that's how we want to work. We just don't want to talk about problem, but we want to talk about solutions as well, alternative solutions and what is feasibly alternative in Bangladesh.
So what is AB Party's goal at the moment? Work independently or align with a major force?
Our political agenda from first was that we will work independently. Because if you want to build identity of a party, you must work independently. We thought that if we go into alliances at the moment, we'll lose some of our thoughts and ideas. And losing that thoughts and ideas will compromise our own unique identity. That's why AB Party was walk our own path, build our own identity. And we have a 15-year plan. That the first 5 years is grassroots and then having AB Party known to people.
And you've already crossed the 5-year mark.
Very recently. Within these 5 years, the 4 years we have spent under a fascist regime. So we couldn't work as fast as we wanted to. For example, we couldn't go to the grassroots as much as we want. However, we have achieved the goal of having a trustworthy basis with the civil society, our foreign friends and missions, and all other political parties. So that we have achieved. We have another goal of another 5 years. That 5 years is that we will have a grassroots hold within that 5 years. And in the last 5 years, we want to come into power. That's our goal.
So you and I have spoken a couple of times already. And from what I have gathered, you and I come from very similar educational backgrounds,
yes.
Which means that it's more likely that we have both been raised in a more privileged environment. So what I'm trying to say is, and what I'm asking you is, that what is your political philosophy? By that, I mean, let's say Mr. Fuad, General Secretary of any party, he's a populist. So why do you think businesses and the so-called establishment will take you seriously, considering you have grown up in a more privileged environment than many others have?
I do not represent AB Party solely. Yes, I had a very privileged background. I thank Allah for that. But that doesn't mean that things were given to me in a plate. Privilege doesn't mean that you gain things automatically. You have to work for it. Second of all, as I've said, I'm not the only person that represents AB Party. AB Party has a amalgamation of people who comes from different walks of life. And that's the beauty of AB Party, that we give our own experiences. That's why Fuad Bhai can give his 2 cents, the struggles of people from his background. And I can give my 2 cents about the struggles of doing business in Bangladesh is not easy. It's a war ground. And when you go to the administrative processes, for example, I'll talk about Raju, and you want to build this building. Take that as an example. You need to get permissions from around 15 authorities. So just to get a permission to build a building, you spend unannounced 1 crore taka. You can't announce that anywhere in your accounts, can you? Because you've given that as a speed money. However, if you think that, well, I will be very honest and I will not give speed money, then there is no business for you. There is no permission to build this building, and this lot will stay vacant as long as possible.
So recently we've even seen your work, your activities in front of the UN office. So my question to you is, with all these foreigners that you interact with on a regular basis, what are the questions that they ask you in general, and what is it that makes them skeptical?
I'm the head of international affairs for Amar Bangladesh Party. And also outside Bangladesh, I maintain those liaisons. So that's why you see me talking to a lot of foreigners, talking with them since the inception of our parties. And I think the lot of skepticisms that they had are cleared right now. But what they used to ask us, that they had in the back of their mind is, are we a branch of Jamaat? Because our chairman came from there. And because that's how we were portrayed in the newspapers at the very beginning. So we had to explain to them, and also we had to gain those trust through work that we are not a part of a B team of Jamaat or a B team of DGFI. So that was one of their thinkings. I don't think they've asked us directly if you are someone from DGFI. No one asked that. But I think people were thinking. However, I think we have proven them wrong through all the struggles we have come and through the July uprising. The skepticism that they have right now is, I think, how well we will do in an electoral situation given the size of our party. That's the bitter truth. We talk about our weaknesses first, always. You will never see us hide that, no, they ask us very flowery questions. No, these are things in their head, and we explain to them that, yes, we don't think that we have a very good electoral situation right now, or we can win many seats, but we have taken this election because in Bangladesh, elections are a way to connect to the grassroots people and to spread the name of your party and to make the party well known to the person living in Kuakata or in Moymansinho or at the end of the Bangladesh border. So that's what our goal is right now with the electoral process. So it's not about like we want to win 50 seats. However, we have few seats, few candidates, hopeful that they can win from their own constituencies. And we have around 10 to 12 candidates like that. I've taken realistically that maybe, because we don't know how elections will play out this time because we haven't seen electoral behavior for the last 15 years. So it is very hard to know how the voters will behave. So we have also taken in our head that we might not win any seat at all. But this is also a litmus test for us to see how we perform in an electoral, because politics has two sides. One is electoral procedure and the other is the policy and rights, how we are doing that procedure. So both part we need to be good at it.
And you wish to see yourself in power within the next 5 years, you say?
No, 10 years.
Within the next 10 years.
Yes. And the way we are growing, I think we can become a very good opposition, strong opposition in 5 years and come in power in 10 years. We don't want to rush the process. It's a process.
Also, I think opposition coming from any space is important for real democracy.
Yes. So a good opposition for politics. For policy-based politics, I think being in a good opposition is more important. First, to establish your ethos. So we want to, in 5 years' time, we want to see ourselves as the main opposition. And in 10 years, inshallah, if Allah will be in power.
So where do you see yourself in the future? Mainly as an opposing party, or do you really want to see yourself in power? I think you've already answered that. You want to be strong opposition within the next 5 and be in power within the next 10. Am I correct?
Yes.
If everything works well. And where do you see yourself within all of this?
Why should I limit myself to maybe Joint Secretary of Amar Bangladesh Party? Why not the Prime Minister of Bangladesh?
Now let's talk about muscle power. Do you have it? And if not, do you think you have what it takes to have that muscle power to back you as you march forward, literally and figuratively?
Well, that's one place we are not very good at. We have to accept. I don't think we have any muscle power. Every party has established itself as a very intellectually. However, I think politics of client patron politics. And we don't want to be good at it. We want to be the party that demonizes this client patron politics and stops it in Bangladesh.
So if you see yourself coming in power, do you think Chadabaji will exist in Bangladesh?
Chadabaji is something I think ingrained in Bangladeshi peoples. So how do we come back from that? And I remember in America, there is a federal government commission which is there only to get all the spendings you do as a election. So if for a campaign where you are getting that even $5 where you are getting it from, and even 25 cents where you are spending it. So the whole report has to be given to the Federal Election Commission, and Federal Election Commission just doesn't take the report and sit with it like our Bangladeshi authorities do.